Hey there, lovely people, and welcome to Messages from the Heart, where we can take some time out from the constant external noise and just take a moment to really focus and listen to the quiet and ever-present voice of our heart. So the message for today, or really my video for today, is to talk about my wonderful Bali retreat, which is coming up in September. So it's on my Facebook page and I've created an event, but I'm very excited to be doing this again. I haven't done one in Bali for a few years, in fact not even one in Adelaide for a few years. So I'm very excited to be going back. The time feels really perfect, not just for me, but to be doing this retreat, but for all of us. I think the time has come now when we are ready to cut loose, as it were, and start doing this kind of thing again. And my retreat is, I've named my retreat Immersion into Empowerment. And my thoughts and feelings and reasons behind that are that this is the time now for us, really. It's always been the time, but with everything going on globally, all the stuff that we have experienced in the past few years, both personally and collectively, it's been huge uncertainty. For some, it's been huge setbacks. For most, if not all of us, it has been complete rearrangement of life as we knew it, from children way through to adults, for all of us in all walks of life. And I think the time, and that can make us feel disempowered, out of control, and subjected to whatever is happening around us, and we have to try and fit in with it. So I think it's really time now to understand we are not powerless, and to really step into our power, but also to the retreat is going to be about relaxation, about self-care, about healing and learning. And so all of these things that I've said, and especially the feeling of disempowerment and feeling out of control, and how can we come back into that? And even if we didn't feel that, all of us, I think, have got childhood stuff that, whether we are aware of it or not, does hold us back in our life, in what we want to achieve in our life, in how we project ourselves, how we present ourselves into life, how we project onto other people, and how we interact. And so there's going to be some of that as well, as part of the self-care and the healing, and in looking at what stories have we believed about ourselves, and stories that perhaps we have made up, or stories that other people have told us when we were very young, and we have believed those stories. And those stories, most of them, and if they're in a negative one, even positive, generally are not true insofar as our interpretation. Because if we were a small child, generally we just take on the worldview of a small child. And often that is not accurate, particularly if somebody said to us that we weren't okay in some way, and we took that on and we believe that, and we carry that with us, but then we become unaware that we've got that within us, within our energy, within our subconscious mind, and we live our adult life from that, being completely unaware. That is a disempower, it's a limitation. And so just to give you an example, what I find is that whenever I need to teach something or share something or pass on a wisdom or an experience or a learning of some kind, I never do that without having experienced it myself first, and without having worked through the stuff myself first. But having said that, whenever I'm about to do a teaching of some sort like that, life always hits me in the face quite hard with that very thing that I thought that I had worked on, and that I had worked through, overcome, moved on from. And that's exactly what happened this past week. This thing, and it was a childhood thing, belief, that I had, I've known I've had, like, throughout my life, and I've done a lot of work on, thinking, okay, I'm good with that, I've worked through that, and let's move on. But life presented a situation to me this week where it brought all of that old insecurity about this particular thing, from very young. Like, my youngest memories maybe before 4 years old, but it persisted all through my life, being reinforced in various ways through people in my life and the situations in my life, and myself, because it was things that were said to me that I interpreted as, I'm not enough, I'm not lovable, I don't fit in, I'm not acceptable. And so, just quickly, like, my background is that we came out from Italy, and I started school not being able to speak English, and this was in the 50s. Yes, I said the 50s. I have aged myself, but yes, this was in the 50s, and so there was a lot of racial prejudice as well, and not speaking the language, and having left, like, a fairly big adoring family in Italy and coming here with virtually no one except my parents as such. Everything around me that was reinforcing that I was not good enough, and unlovable, unacceptable, I didn't fit in, I wasn't as good as the other children. So I believed that. So in my child's mind, I believed that story, and I carried that with me, and I lived my life from that. So we can translate that into feelings and beliefs of unworthiness, which are very limiting. Now, throughout all my work with people in the past 30 years, lack of self-worth and feelings of unworthiness are prevalent without, I would have to say, everyone, pretty much everyone, of some sort. They don't have to be the same as mine. They can be anything, and it doesn't mean that the people in our lives wanted to harm us in any way. Although some, I mean, there was, the prejudice and the ridicule that was real. But generally speaking, it's us who believe those stories, and then we live from those. Anyway, one of the things that we'll be doing in the retreat is some work on where our limitations are, where are we holding ourselves back, where does our unworthiness lie, and why is it there? Because once we bring the understanding to a situation, we can then heal that and release it. And it can be done very quickly, painlessly. We don't even have to go through a whole bunch of scenarios. It's just really identifying your feelings and what it is that you're feeling. And a lot of times it's fear. So if, like for me, the childhood stuff that was brought up, I was having to go into a situation this week where exactly those feelings, which I thought in the past would have been triggered, but I was fine with now, I found myself becoming quite scared and anxious about it. And then I thought, well, what is it that's frightening me about that? And a lot of us have a lot of fear about things that we can label as unreasonable, but they come from somewhere. And mine, for example, came from, I think, being judged as not good enough by other people, and then as I said, I actually believed that, okay, well, they must be right, but remembering I was a child. So that's one of the things that we will be doing in the retreat. But as well as that, we'll be doing beautiful yoga every day. And the yoga is, so please don't be put off by this if you haven't done yoga before, or if you think you're not very good at yoga. There's going to be all different ability levels there, and the yoga will be suitable for absolute beginners way through to advanced. And I structure my class very well that way, and I always have done through all the years I've been teaching yoga, I think for about 20 years now. Yes, 20 years. So please don't be put off by the yoga, but the yoga, the movement of the body with the breath is really important for the harmonization of the mind and the heart, and just the bringing us all into the present moment. And we will be in an amazing, lush yoga shala with trees and greenery all around us. It will be amazing. And then we'll have to devote some time to various teachings, one of which I said would be what we believe is holding us back from living our best life. I will also be including some cultural experiences and a beautiful Balinese massage. And so, as I said, I'm very, very excited about this beautiful retreat. It's coming up in September. So if you are interested, you can comment below. You can private message me. You or go to my Facebook page, and I have the event page there. And you can register there. It's very, very reasonably priced. And I have to say that it's almost half booked already. So if you are interested, please let me know. No pressure, but let me know as soon as you can, so I can hold the place for you. Okay, so I hope that this has been helpful and that you have enjoyed listening to this video. And if you know of anybody who might be interested or might find this helpful, please feel free to like and share, because the more people that we can introduce to this kind of thinking, and especially the self-healing, the self-care, the self-love, I think we are all being called at this moment. I'm feeling it, that we are all being called at this time to more self-love and self-care, because the more that we can realize our own amazingness and the more we can love ourselves, the more love then we have for others, and the more we see others that way, because generally it's a reflective universe. We reflect in our lives to us whatever it is that we're feeling on the inside. So whatever it is that our energy is vibrating at on the inside, that is what is reflected back to us in life. So the more realization and understanding we can bring, an embodiment that we can bring to our own amazingness as pure spirit, living this life through a human body, and how amazing that in itself is, that we actually came to be here. The much better our world will become. So, as always, much love, and let's love ourselves enough to do this. Ciao for now.